Welcome back to the explainer. From the absolute second you wake up and grab your phone to the moment you finally go to sleep, you're interacting with the web. But today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to demystify the tech industry and look at the actual fundamentals of web technology and full-stack development. We're going to break down exactly how developers build the internet we all use every single day. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever actually stopped mid-scroll and wondered, how do these platforms actually work? We're on YouTube, Amazon, Instagram constantly, but we rarely think about the digital magic happening right under the hood. I mean, how does one tiny click instantly pull up a highly personalized movie recommendation or, process a complicated order across the globe? Well, that's exactly what we're answering today.
Here's our roadmap for this journey. We'll start with the anatomy of modern websites, then zoom in on front-end design and the back-end engines. After that, we'll look at the client-server connection, what it means to master the full stack, and finally, how to build your tech career. Starting off with Section 1, the anatomy of modern websites. Basically, we need to ask, what exactly is a website? At its absolute core, a website is just a collection of interconnected web pages living on a server somewhere. But, and this brilliantly illustrates the evolution of the internet, we've moved from static to highly dynamic websites. A static site is basically just a digital brochure. It has fixed content, the exact same thing for every single person who visits. Think of a standard online resume. But a dynamic website, that is a whole different beast. It generates personalized content in real time based on what you do. So when you log into Netflix or Facebook, the site is actively connecting to a database to serve up content specifically tailored for you. Moving right along to Section 2, the front end, which is all about building the user experience. Now, before we get into the specific tools, we really need to untangle two distinct roles that often get confused. Web designing, well, that's the art. It's completely focused on appearance. The UI, the UX, the layouts, the colors. It's how the site looks and feels to you. Web development, on the other hand, is the science. This is the technical side, focusing on functionality, the actual coding logic, databases, and, making sure that when you click a button, it actually does something instead of just looking pretty. To actually build that front end, developers rely on this core trinity of technologies. First up is HTML, or hypertext markup language. Think of a website like a house. HTML is the timber, the drywall, the absolute raw skeleton. It creates the foundational structure, so your headings, paragraphs, forms, buttons. Literally, without HTML, you have absolutely nothing to build on. Now, what's really interesting here is how the second tool, CSS, brings that bare skeleton to life. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and if HTML is the drywall, CSS is the interior design and the fresh coat of paint. It's responsible for the beauty of the site. It takes those raw, kind of boring HTML text blocks and adds the colors, the spacing, the gorgeous fonts, layouts, and those slick animations we all love. And the final piece of this trinity is JavaScript. So HTML is the skeleton, CSS is the skin, but JavaScript, that is the brain and the muscle. It adds intelligence and real interactivity. So when you click a button and a menu slides out, or you're typing a password and it instantly flashes red telling you it's too short, that is JavaScript in action. It's dynamically updating the content right there on the spot without you having to reload the whole page. It's a real game changer for user experience. Okay, let's pull back the walls a bit for Section 3, the backend. This is the hidden engine and the server-side logic. So while the front end is busy making everything look amazing, the back end is all about the plumbing and the electricity. This is the hidden, behind-the-scenes operation that everyday users literally never see. Think about opening Instagram. The front end gives you the login boxes, right? But when you hit enter, it's the back end that actually takes that username and password, verifies your credentials, executes the business logic, and finally sends the OK signal back so your feed actually loads. It handles all the heavy lifting, including super complex stuff like processing payments. And a massive, absolutely crucial part of that back-end heavy lifting is the database. You can picture the database as the deep foundation of the house, or maybe a giant, highly organized pantry. It's a storage system, things like MySQL or MongoDB, where all the critical ingredients of an application are securely kept. We're talking user info, encrypted passwords, product inventory, your entire order history. All of it lives safely right here. Let's just lock this in really quickly before we move on. The front end is visible to you, the user. It's all about UI and design, built with HTML, CSS, and JS. The back end, though, is completely hidden on the server. It's back there quietly running complex business logic and database operations using heavier languages like Node.js, Java, or Python. It's basically two distinct halves that make up one massive whole. Which brings us to section 4, the client-server connection, or how these two halves actually talk to each other. The easiest way to think about this is like a restaurant. The client is you, sitting at your table. In the tech world, that's your laptop or your phone sending a request to the waiter, saying, hey, I want to see this webpage. The server, then, is the kitchen in the back. It's a super powerful computer located somewhere totally different that processes your order, makes sure you're allowed to order it, cooks up the back-end code, and serves the requested data right back to your table. Let's step through this and see how it builds. Step 1. You type in a URL. Step 2, your browser fires off a request to the server. Step 3, the server processes that request. Step 4, it dips into the database if it needs to grab some specific data. Step 5, the server shoots a response back. And step 6, boom, your browser displays the web page. And honestly, the absolute craziest part of all this, that whole 6-step dance happens in literal milliseconds. It's mind-blowing when you really think about it. Now let's zoom all the way out for section 5. Mastering the full stack, the realm of the master architect. So we've talked about front-end and back-end developers as separate roles, right? But a full-stack developer, they handle the whole shebang. To pull that off, they rely on what we call technology stacks. A super popular one right now is the MERN stack. That's an acronym. M stands for MongoDB, which is your database. E is for Express.js, your back-end framework. R is React.js for the front-end library, and N is Node.js, the runtime environment. By mastering just those 4 tools, one single developer can build an incredibly complex web app completely on their own. So the crucial point is seeing how this all actually ties together in the real world. Take Amazon. The front end, that's the search bar and the layout of the product pages you're clicking around on. The back end is that completely invisible system safely processing your credit card. The database is the unimaginably massive vault storing millions of products, plus your entire order history. And the whole thing is hosted in the cloud on platforms like AWS. Every single piece plays a critical role. Which leads us nicely to our final section, section 6, building your tech career and your future in web technology. Learning all this isn't just about satisfying curiosity about how the internet works. It's about spotting the massive opportunity sitting right in front of you. The advantages to learning full-stack development are huge. There is wild industry demand right now, which obviously translates into fantastic salary prospects. It's incredibly startup-friendly because, think about it, one developer managing multiple areas means way less overhead and faster coordination. Plus, it really future-proofs your career, as web development inevitably merges more and more with AI and cloud computing. Now, to succeed as a developer, yes, you absolutely need the technical chops. Programming, debugging, understanding APIs and databases, for sure. But honestly, the non-technical skills are just as crucial. Things like deep problem solving and structured logical thinking. Because at the end of the day, you aren't just writing code, you're building systems to solve real human problems. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. We zoomed in on the fresh paint on the walls and zoomed all the way out to the hidden engines in the basement. You know now that the web isn't some digital magic. It's architecture. It's a structure built by people. And the tools to build it are literally out there, just waiting for you to pick them up. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?